Okay, all good. So thank everyone for joining class this evening. So we're going to begin at the back of our mats in child's pose. I say this as a bit of a pre-intro at the end at the beginning of each session, but if you've got anything nearby that might make it more comfortable to sit on, so a cushion or a blanket just to soften the seat, then feel free. I'm on hard floor, so it's helpful, but if you're on soft floor, you might not need it, but just as a little heads up, if you want to quickly grab something now to have to hand. Otherwise, we're starting in child's pose, so we're taking the knees out wide, coming to kneeling. Take the knees out wide, let the big toes touch. Press the seat bones back on the heels. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Take a nice inhale through the nose if you can. And then exhale, bring the body forward. Walk the hands forward. Coming into child's pose. So we're looking for the belly to come either on the thighs or between the thighs. And just soften the neck and the head. So I'm just going to come up so you can hear me, but stay down low. You want the chest and forehead towards the floor. You might want to use the hands as a pillow, hand on hand or fist on fist to raise the head up off the floor. And just settle here into child's pose for a few breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose if you can. Taking on a nasal breath to get nice deep breaths into the belly. It's really good for us to breathe in and out through the nose. And try and practice controlling our breath if we can. If that's not there for you today, then in and out through the mouth is fine. And just take the soft bend in the elbows, keep the neck nice and long, and just take a few moments here to try and settle the mind of anything else that might be going on in your day today. Just taking the next 20 minutes to focus on you, your body, and checking in with yourself and how you feel today. Maybe you feel a bit achy from runs yesterday or over the weekend, or from sitting down at a desk all day, but just checking in with your body and seeing if you can notice any areas of tension, perhaps on the shoulders, the neck, and just consciously trying to relax as much as you can. So child's pose is our grounding posture, and you can come into child's pose at any point. We're going to talk you through some poses that we're going to do this evening. If at any point you don't want to do them or they're causing you any discomfort, come and rest back in child's pose. You know your body, so just work to your limitations and how you're feeling today. So still with the head down low, take a nice inhale and walk the hands out. So we've still got a slight bend in the elbow, softness through the elbow, but we're bringing the fingers up and we're spidering up on the fingertips. So we're coming up onto the top of the fingers, stretching, reaching forward, eye gaze forward, neck nice and relaxed, just looking forward and pressing the seat bones back on the heels. Just emphasising the stretch through the side body, through the hips, through the glutes. Nice deep breath here. Inhale, roll the body forwards to come into a tabletop position. We've got wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips, coming into a nice strong tabletop. You can either curl the toes or keep the toes flat on the floor. Shins are flat on the floor as well. Fingertip, middle finger and wrist crease pointing forward. Inhale, look forward, nice relax through the neck. Drop the belly, look up, crown and tailbone to the ceiling. Exhale, round down, chin to chest, pressing away like an angry cat, pressing the hands, the feet, the knees into the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, crown and tailbone to the ceiling, stretching through the throat, shoulders, looking up. And exhale, rounding down, chin to chest, tailbone tucking under, looking towards the belly button, really actively pressing away. Inhale, look up. And exhale, rounding down. So just do 2 more rounds of cat-cow, just with the pace of your own breath, moving with your own body, just warming up through the spine, the shoulders, the neck, linking movement with breath. And once you've finished off your second round of cat-cow, just meet me back on tabletop with a neutral spine. We're going to come into downward facing dog. So take the hands a pace forward, slightly wider than shoulder width apart, middle finger still pointing forward. Inhale, curl the toes and hover the knees and pause here. Exhale, raise the hips up to the ceiling, pressing away, pressing the heels down towards the mat. Looking back towards the gap between your legs. Taking nice breaths here, really active through the hands, through the feet. You can keep a soft bend in the knee. We're looking for a nice straight back. Biceps are by the ears, relax through the neck. Pressing the chest towards the thighs. You might want to pedal out your heels, lifting one heel at a time. Walking out your dog, just warming up through the back of the legs. Now inhale, take a big bend in both knees, and exhale, press away, hips to the ceiling. And see if you can get the heels towards the floor. If you feel your spine rounding, just keep a soft bend in the knee. Now look towards the hand, and with a big bend in the knee, start to walk the feet forward, to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Now we're in ragdoll, so the head stays low. Take a grip of opposite elbows, and we're just hanging out here, just decompressing the spine. Just take some nice deep breaths. Let the belly come towards the thighs, eyes are open. Feet are around hip width distance apart. Breathe well here. And in our ragdoll position, just letting the body adjust. It's good for the blood flow. Our head is lower than the heart, so we're just letting the blood flow around the body. And gently start to sway from side to side, just through the hips. Just decompressing through the back, the lower back. And then come to stillness and gently shake the head, nod the head, yes and no. Opening up the blood vessels in the neck. And then release the hands. See if you can press the hands away. You might need to take a big bend in the knees, but just pressing out the back of the hands. Nice stretch through the wrists here. So the feet are flat on the floor, just pressing the back of the hands into the mat. And then release and rolling up. Keep the head tucked, so chin's tucked to the chest. Head comes up last and rolling up to standing. Now we're in mountain pose. So just take a couple of breaths here. Feet are together. Let me raise this a little bit higher. There. Now in our strong mountain pose, feet are together, legs together, shoulders back and down, palms slightly open, looking forward. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, and we're coming into a half moon stretch. So your hands are like steeple grips. I'm just going to bend my arms to show you here. So we've got interlaced fingers, release the index finger, so we're like a little steeple. Arms are nice and strong. Try not to flare out the ribs, tilt the pelvis to tuck the ribs in. Inhale, lift up out the waist. Exhale, stretching over to the right hand side to keep the top shoulder rolled back. Breathing. If it's too much with both arms, you can drop the bottom arm and just reach over with the top. With every inhale, reach up taller, find length. Exhale, stretch over more. And release. Come back up to center. If you drop the lower arm, bring it back up. Now inhale, find length, and exhale, go over to the left-hand side, reaching over now. And again, you can lower the bottom arm if that's more comfortable, if you've got tight shoulders maybe. Inhale, find length. Exhale, reach further as though you're reaching over, bending over a big bouncy ball. Lovely. And release. And you can bring the arms back down by your side. Nice. Now we're going to come into our awkward postures. So these are our awkward chairs. We're taking the feet hip width distance apart. Face this way so you can see me. So they're like you're on a train track, number 11. Standing up nice and tall. Roll the shoulder blades down and raise the arms. Fingertips are together. The hips are tucked under, so we're in a nice, strong standing position. And as we inhale to lift the chest, we then exhale, bend the knees, send the bum back. And we are as though we're sitting low on an imaginary chair. So we're working through the thighs, the body weight is in the heels, looking forward, chest up, arms strong, keep breathing. Inhale, lift the chest, exhale, squeeze down further, see if you can get the bum a bit lower. One more breath. Nice, and change, gently coming back up. And now keep the arms up. We're going to come into awkward two, so we're up on the tiptoes here. So a couple of options, you can stay here, working on ankle strength, really good for stabilising the ankle joint, arms are out nice and strong. If you've got a nice point of balance here, you can then come down further if you want more. Inhale to stand up nice and tall, and then exhale to come down. Imagine you're sliding down an imaginary wall behind you, squeezing into the thighs, body weight's in the toes. Keep breathing, keep going lower. And change, slowly coming back up. Let the heels fall flat to the mat, lovely. Now we're going to come to awkward 3. So feet are still apart. We're going to turn the toes in slightly. So they're slightly pigeon-toed, but they're not touching. Let the knees knock in, and we're going to squeeze the knees and the thighs together. So we're working down to the side of the ankles. Nice straight spine. Inhale, raise the shoulders again. Shoulders are away from the ears. So make sure we're not up here, but we're relaxing through the shoulders. And you can either bend the knees here, or we can raise the heels slightly off the floor, about ½ an inch or so, not as much as before. Finding that point of balance, and then exhaling to slide down that wall again. Keep squeezing the knees and thighs as though you've got a 50-pound note that you're trying to keep hold of. Keep breathing, keep focusing, squeeze down lower. Nice, and change. Release, come back out, let the feet fall flat. Give the arms a little shake. Now we're going to come onto the floor for our seated sequence. So if you meet me in a straight leg position here, so sitting up nice and tall, this is where you might want to grab a blanket if it's more comfortable to sit on. I'm going to grab mine. Okay, so this is our staff pose. This is our reset posture for the floor. Firstly, we're coming into our separate leg, head to knee stretch. So take the left leg out slightly, a slight diagonal here, and turn the torso so we're facing over this left leg. Bend at the right, take the right sole of the foot to the inside of the left leg. And try and consciously ground the seat bones equally into the mat. Bend at the left leg a lot. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers into a basket grip and hinge forward, hooking over that foot. So depending on how long your legs are, how long your arms are, you might need to bend that knee up a lot, that's fine. Now inhale, tuck the chin to the chest, the forehead to the knee, and try and keep your head super glued to your knee. Then inhale to breathe the belly away, and exhale to kick the heel. So you keep your head to your knee, your chin to your chest. Breathe in here, inhale and exhale. So stay here for 2 breaths. Nice steady breaths. Into the belly, keep the chin tucked, head to the knee. Feeling the stretch down the lower back on the other side. And change, release the arms. Back overhead. Now we're going to extend the right leg, bend at the left, the one that you just had out. We're going to bend it in. And come into twisting sage. Place the left hand behind you, fingertips are pointing away, so left hand behind sort of the left bum cheek, a couple of paces away, and hug in this left knee, sit up nice and tall, flexing through the right foot. Inhale, raise the crown of the head to the ceiling, and exhale to twist. Twisting through the back, then the shoulders, then the neck, and if it's comfortable, the eye gaze to follow. Nice equal grounding through the seat bones. Inhale to lift up and exhale to twist. Nice. And release. Extend that left leg away. Now coming into our separate leg stretch on the right hand side. So bending the left leg now. Sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Bending up this right leg a lot. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale to come over the foot, taking that basket grip around the foot so your thumbs are by the toe crease. And then taking the chin to chest, forehead to knee. And then exhale to kick away. So keep breathing here. I'm just going to come out so you can hear me. So chin to chest, forehead to knee. Inhale to breathe the belly away from the thigh. And then exhale, kick the heel away, feeling the stretch down the leg, down the right leg, and the lower back on the left-hand side. One more nice big breath here, steady breath. Lovely. And release when you're ready. Releasing the grip, arms overhead. Now we're going to bring in that right knee. So the right knee bends up, left leg nice and straight, left toes flexed. Right hand comes behind us to help us sit up nice and tall. Hugging the right knee in, wrapping our left arm around that leg. Inhale to sit up nice and tall, and exhale to twist. Really active through the left leg, don't forget about that one. Pushing away, pressing the right foot into the floor, the left toes are flexed. Inhale to sit up taller, exhale to twist further. Lovely. And change, releasing that leg. Now we're going to come forwards, a couple of options, either swivel the legs out or you can come to a cross-leg position, bringing the body weight forward, just removing any blankets, if you have those there, coming into plank. So I'm going to do half plank because after class last week I hurt my foot, so I can't lift up onto my toes. So a couple of options, you can come up into full plank or half plank. If you're in half plank with me, well, in either, we want the wrist beneath the shoulders and the body weight is forward. So tabletop is more centre of gravity is back, but half plank, we're working into the shoulders here. Stacking the joints. Tops of the feet are flat on the floor, or if you're in full plank, you're curling up on the toes to lift up. Staying there for 2 more nice steady breaths. Deep breaths in through the belly, into the belly, in and out through the nose. Nice. And then drop into the knees if you're not on the knees already. And we're going to push back to raise up the right leg to come into dragon or our low lunge. So we're going to flow through dragon and half split here. So we've got the right ankle beneath the right knee. The left foot is nice and relaxed and straight behind us, bending this knee as well. Staying here for 2 breaths. You can rest the hands on the thigh or you can bring them to the floor if you prefer. Feeling a stretch through the hip flexor here, working into both sides. And we're going to do a couple of rounds of flowing between dragon and half split. So now we're going to inhale to push back, bring the hands down, and half split, we're straightening out the right leg. So still got a bend in this left leg, but the body weight is pushed back. Stay here for 2 breaths. Then inhale to come forward, again into this front leg. We're going to do that twice more, just working through the hips, so just 2 breaths. So you can move at your own pace. And then coming back. Nice steady breaths here, breathing now to come into the front again. And then back, and then we're going to switch out the legs now. So nice full breaths here in half split, and then just gently coming out, swapping the legs. Now the left leg comes forward. Always being aware of our alignment, making sure our knees and hips and ankles are in the right places. So we want our ankle beneath the left leg here, left leg's the one that's up. And now we're going to push forward, pushing the body weight forward to stretch through the hip, the front of the right hip. Good work, everyone. And then push back into half split. So now we're feeling the stretch in the hamstring. And again, just being careful, if you any pressure through the knees, then just being mindful of that, coming out a bit if you need to, or using a blanket if that's more comfortable underneath the knees. Flexing the front foot up in half split. Then coming forward into dragon. One more breath. And then back into half split. So just working on our hip mobility, pushing through, stretching, a bit of a flow between the two. Flexing that foot and then forward again. This is our last one, I think. This is the 3rd one. And then back into half split. 2 more breaths here. Well done. And then we're going to just come out of that position and come to laying on our backs now to do a couple of final postures before we finish. So swinging the legs out. If you want a bit of work, you can lower yourself down slowly. Crossing the arms, opposite hands to shoulders, and then lowering down. So firstly, we're going to come into bridge. You sit on the floor and I'm just going to talk you through this one so you can hear me. So we are bending at the knees. I'll lower down and show you as well. So we're bringing the soles of the feet flat to the floor, bending at the knees, the head and the shoulders stay nice and flat on the floor, and you're just going to walk your shoulder blades in and try and either press the hands into the mat or clasp your fists underneath, so clasping your hands together to make a fist. And then inhale to press the hips up, coming into a bridge here. So it's a nice opener through the quads, the front of the hips, squeezing through the glutes to press up further. If you want more, you can come onto the tiptoes to get an increased stretch through the shin as well in the front of the leg, or just keep the feet flat. 2 more breaths here, keep squeezing, keep lifting. And then gently lowering bone by bone in the spine. So if you've got your hands clasped, just release the hands and then gently lower back down. And then keeping the knees bent, keep the left leg where it is, and then cross the right one over the left. So your right ankle is now over your left knee. And you can either stay here, this coming into reclined pigeon here. So you can stay here, just pressing the knee away, getting stretched through the right side. Or if you want more, you can loop the hands underneath the left thigh. So you're gripping the hands together, flex up the left foot, we'll flex both feet actually. And breathing here, keep the head and shoulders on the floor and just squeezing that leg in. So you're squeezing the left side to increase the stretch through the right hand side. So you should feel it on the outside of the right thigh, the glute. Lovely, and then change and just swap those legs out. So we're now bending the right leg and the right foot is flat on the floor. Bend the left foot, cross it over the right knee. And then let the hands find the back of the right thigh and lift up. If you've got any issues with the knees or you don't want to lift up, that's fine. You can just keep the right foot flat on the floor and press away gently through the left, your hand on the left side by the left knee. Otherwise, we're gripping underneath. Keeping the head and shoulders on the floor, flex both feet, nice steady breaths here. Pulling that right leg in to increase the stretch down the outside of the left thigh into the glute. Lovely. And then release the left leg. Just let the soles of both feet now find the mat. Your knees are bent, you're going to bring the feet together and come into butterfly. Just let the hips open, let the knees fall out to both sides. Hands could go on the belly or on the floor with palms up or palms down. Just letting the hips open, let the body adjust and just relax into this position here. It's a nice opener through the hips. More of a restorative position, but we're going to stay here for 5 full breaths in total. So in your own pace, in your own time. And if you want to press down on the thighs, the inner thighs, then you can do. We can just let the hands relax and let gravity do the work. Okay, and then just taking our last 2 breaths in this position. And then when you're ready, bringing the knees together and extending them away, staying laid on the floor. And just coming into our final posture, letting the Savasana to end or corpse pose, just letting the ankles and legs relax, just going out to the sides of the mat, let the shoulders and arms just relax as well. Hands might be open up to the ceiling, palms facing up or facing down. Do what's comfortable for you. And just noticing any areas of tension or any areas that feel better after having a bit of a stretch out this evening. See if you can relax through the face. It's easy to hold a lot of tension around the jaw, the brow. So if that feels like that's there for you, then just noticing it and gently releasing it if you can. And when you're ready, bringing the feet together, bringing the arms overhead, and if you've got space, taking a nice full body stretch, reaching the hands away, the feet away, pointing through the feet, reaching through the fingers. And then a big squeeze in, bringing the knees in as well, giving yourself a hug, taking the hands around the knees, squeezing into a ball. And then gently coming on to the side with the knees bent to push yourself back up to a seated position. Then when you're ready, hello, I can see some faces. Lovely, well done guys. So now we're in a seated position here, cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. Taking a moment just to inhale, raise the arms overhead, stretching, reaching up, let the palms meet, bring them through centre. Either keeping them here or placing them on your knees, whichever you prefer. Thank you for joining me for class this evening. We'll finish there. Hope you feel better for having a stretch and hope to see you next week.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Georgie.